it would take someone 5 minutes to Google Jake Tapper, Donald Trump, to see that Jake Tapper has consistently,
we're going to stop this interview if you're going to keep
President
attacking
Trump
my colleagues.
Adolf Hitler.
Ma'am, I'm going to stop this interview if you continue to attack my colleagues. I would like to talk about Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who you work for.
Yes.
If you are here to speak on his behalf, I am willing to have this conversation.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay.
Now,
I'm sorry, guys. We're going to come back out to the panel. Caroline, thank you very much for your time. You are welcome to come back at any point. She is welcome to come back and speak about Donald Trump, and Donald Trump will have equal time to Joe Biden when they both join us now at later this week in Atlanta for this debate.
What a moment. This morning, CNN cutting off the interview with Trump's national campaign spokeswoman, Casey Hunt, writing, "You come on my show, you respect my colleagues, period. I don't care what side of the aisle you stand on, as my track record clearly shows."
And Trump's spokeswoman, Caroline Leavitt here, responding, quote, "You cut off my microphone for bringing up the debate moderator's history of anti-Trump lies. This proved our point that President Trump will not be treated fairly on Thursday. Yet he is still willing to go into this 3-1 fight to bring his winning message to the American people, and he will win." We'll bring in Sheryl Adams, Republican strategist, with us. Hilton Beckham, communication director with the American First Policy Institute. Thank you both for being on. We do appreciate that. And Hilton, I'll start with you. This is getting a lot of play right now. I'm watching this interview with Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary for Trump 2024 campaign, bringing up the reporting that was done by the moderator, and her mic was cut off by the network. What are your thoughts on that, Hilton?
You know, I have to hand it to Caroline Leavitt. She's truly doing the Lord's work right now on CNN. The fact that she literally just stated a fact about Jake Tapper, and her interview got cut off, and she was labeled as being an attacker against these moderators. That was completely fair game. And what I really think this is a precursor to Thursday. Listen, I know all eyes are on Donald Trump and Joe Biden, but I think eyes need to be a little bit more on these CNN moderators. First, Jack Tapper and Dana Bash, they both haven't moderated a presidential-elect debate before, but Tapper has been on record calling the Trump administration the worst, a nightmare of an administration, the worst administration. And then on top of that, CNN, this is their first big event since they last held a town hall with Donald Trump, where it didn't go so well because Donald Trump ended up getting cheered and the CNN host ended up getting jeered at. And the person who led that at CNN ended up getting fired a month later. So I think more eyes need to be on Jake Tapper and Dana Bash and seeing how they actually handle this debate.
Yeah, and I think what the point Caroline was trying to make was, you know, some of these anchors and their coverage is not necessarily fair of the candidates in the past. She was trying to get that out, and then the anchor wouldn't listen to it. But we went back in the archives and found some sound that our viewers might be interested in when it comes to coverage of these anchors before and Donald Trump's administration. Here's Jake Tapper likening Trump to Hitler several times. Let's watch.
The dehumanizing rhetoric of Adolf Hitler is once again alive and well on a national political stage. This time, of course, in the United States. Donald Trump, a couple times over the weekend, referred to immigrants from South America, Africa, and Asia. He did not mention Europe. South America, Africa, and Asia as, quote, poisoning the blood of our country, which it's not hyperbole. That does very directly echo Adolf Hitler's language.
Okay, so that was Tapper there. And then just before we get to Sheryl, here's Dana Bash, also criticizing Trump repeatedly, wondering how Trump could possibly gain support.
Who are these people who aren't part, maybe necessarily, of like that Trump core, what we call the Fifth Avenue Republicans, who, you know, he famously says, I could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and those people will support me. But the people on top of that who are looking at everything that's going on, that happened on January 6th, and they're saying, okay, I'll throw my support behind Donald Trump.
Posing that question there, Sheryl. Look, was Caroline out of line to bring up these prior statements when appearing on CNN?
Absolutely not. And I think it's just a precursor to our debate.